Hello, hello, hello. Okay, before I go any further, next Friday I will be doing QM. I hope you show up. It's gonna be fun and fantastic. Some people asked me some question, they made some offer to me, and I like to help with their questions, answering their questions. Okay, my name is Payman. Today is Sunday, September 5th, 2021. And thank you coming to YouTube channel, coming to my blog. Please subscribe to my channels. I want to spread the message of peace, justice and liberty. That's the bottom line. I have no other ulterior motive. And if your first time is here, as always, I will be speaking the English language, then I will switch to the Persian language. Okay, Hegelian dialectic explains Alice's justice, exposing Evin present. What happens with the Alice justice? I always thought to myself, I was always thinking about the Bastille prison. And what happens, it was very interesting about the Bastille prison. People revolt and they brought it down. And I was wondering to myself, will one day Iranians bring down the Evin prison? Will they revolt? They go bring it down. Because so much crimes is happening behind those walls. So many people are dying behind those walls. So many people are being abused. Even just walking up to someone and say, this is abuse. This is abuse. You can't talk to people like that. I don't care what people did. Okay? They stole. They stole $10 million. At the end of the day, they're a human being. They made a mistake. My job is to help them to understand they made a mistake and help them to become productive member of society. That is my job. I'm not working as a correctional officer. I'm not working as a probation officer. If I was working on those categories, the field of work that I mentioned, that would be my responsibility to help people to become better and become part of the society. Not feeling marginalized, not feeling that they are not part of the community, but they are part of the community and they need to be helped to join. If they feel that way, because usually they feel marginalized and they think there is no alternative, that's why they do it. So, will that day come? I was thinking about myself, and even if you look at my previous blog entries, you will see I wrote about Bastille. Very briefly, I wrote it. But I wasn't thinking that anything will happen, how it will happen, will it happen. I couldn't say it. I could not say that was a reality or not. And as I was thinking about that one, because in Evin prison, if you look at Lajavardi, he is talking about killing people. Hey, I'm a gangster. I'm a big shot gangster. You mess around with me, there's a bullet in your head. There's a Muhammadi Gilani. You could see them with Lajavardi and clerics sitting side by side. Muhammadi Gilani, sitting and talking about executing the left-wing factions. Judge, jury, executioners. That's what they were. So, will these walls come down? And Sadegh Khalkhali is talking about killing people so easily, so easily. And all of a sudden, Alice Justice comes in and says that we hack the computer system of the Evin prison, and we have all the information, and we're going to expose them, we're going to reveal all their things. And they did. They showed human rights violation. I don't know, I shouldn't be using pronoun here, I apologize. Ali's justice show what is happening behind the doors in Evin prisons. Correctional officers are assaulting prisons, inmates are fighting with one another. These are all human rights violations. These are all human rights violations. One thing people need to understand, the moment a person is in custody of a police officer, correctional officer, they are in prison, their safety must be ensured. Doesn't mean there cannot be a fist fight, there cannot be anything. If anything goes wrong, a state is responsible for their welfare and well-being. That's why there's a doctor. That's why they give them food for free. That's why they have a bed for free. That's why they have a roof on their heads for free. And it should be that way. It should be way better than that. If you're asking me, it should be way better. Prison should be like a hotel. If you're asking me, we need to teach them that they're part of us. They're not outside. And if you're asking me, we shouldn't have prison, because it doesn't do any good for society. So, we have this dialectic situation is coming, Hegelian dialectic, comes to the horizon. Some Iranians says, look at the justice scale, it's not proper. Some people are saying, well, they're not really exposing anything. This is happening in any prison. It's happening in a state prison, it's happening in Canadian prison. They're right, it's happening. And if you're asking me, and if you ask someone who works in a correctional system and a police officer, they say no. In prison we cannot have a fight because they have rights. You see, in the book it says that way. That's the way of book. Okay, but we cannot say, oh, it's happening here. It should be happening anywhere. No. There are some overcrowded prisons around the world. Okay, that cannot happen. Okay, and the video clips, Alice Justice shows, it doesn't shows like the torture or anything like that, and it's coming and reconstructing some events, what is happening, and people are saying, no, they got the hush money and they walked away. Some people claim it was Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's group that they wanted to silence them. They were upset that he couldn't run for president's office. All that being said, and we could come up with the more scenarios for Alice Justice, way more than that. We could come up with tons of stories. But we missed the point. Most people are missing the point. Those video clips illustrated human rights violations in Iran. When you are in a custody, you must be protected by system. Then there was one video clip you could see smuggling narcotic. The correctional officer is helping the inmate to smuggle narcotic in prison. That's a violation of law. That's a violation of human rights. They shouldn't be abusing their bodies when they're under protection of the system. That was the message. It's not about, I don't know, some people are saying, oh, they're manufacturing dissidents and they want to export them out of Iran again one more time. That's not what we are talking here. We're talking about one idea. It showed human rights violations, and just imagine what are the other kind of human rights violations happening over there. So it really put them on the edge, put the regime on the edge. But because advanced nations like Canada, US, want the regime to stay in Iran, they're not going to talk about it in a very more elaborate way about the human rights violations in Iran. Okay, I will be speaking the Persian language. از همه سپاسگزارم که میان به یوتیوب چنال من، به بلاگ من سر میزنن. خواهش میکنم اگر چیزایی که میپسندید سابسکرایب کنید، لایک کنید که پیغام آزادی، صلح، عدالت برای ایران بخوایم. من همیشه در مد نظرم بود که این چجوری این دیوارهای اوین میاد پایین. آیا ما بستیل خودمون رو خواهیم داشت؟ چون خیلی جنایت ها داره رخ میده توی زندان اوین، خیلی جنایت ها. و اینو دیدیم، اینو همه ماها دیدیم که چجوری دیوار اوین رو آوردن پایین. علیز جاستس، عدالت علی آوردش پایین. و خب یه سری حرفای پرسش‌های خیلی خوبی رو آوردن. چرا عدالت اون اسکیل، معذرت میخوام، اسکیل ترازوی عدالتش درست نیست. چرا ترازوی عدالتش درست نیست؟ با کلمه علی، اینا با اسم علی، اینا منظورشون چیه؟ علی خامنه‌ای، امام علی، کدومشه؟ چی دارن میگن؟ بعد یهو عدالت علی باستاد. یه سری فیلم ها رو داد و اینا، یه سری گفتن که خب این چیزی نیستش، همه جای دنیا این مسئله رخ میده. بذارید این مسئله رو بگم. وقتی که یک نفر پلیس دستگیرش میکنه، همینطور هم داره اصلا باهات صحبت میکنه، خدای ناکرده به اون شخص چیزی بشه، حمله قلبی کنه، وظیفه پلیس اینه که اون شخص رو زنده نگه داره. نمیگه من برم دیگه، نه، باید بهش CPR بده، باید زنگ بزنه آمبولانس بیاد، نمیتونه بره. یه خط بیفته دستش، مسئولیت داره. تو زندان هم همینه، تو زندان نمیتونن دعوا کنن، تو زندان نمیتونن. آیا میشه؟ بله. تو زندان کانادا میشه، تو زندان آمریکا میشه، همه اینا هستش، من نمیگم نیست. من در رابطه با قانون دارم صحبت میکنم و وقتی که میفهمن اینها میشه، باید جلوشو بگیرن. این یک کاریه که باید انجام بشه. خب یعنی یه چیز خیلی جدیه و نمیشه بگیم که خب یه میشه که میشه. نه، اینجوری نمیشه سر به هوایی بگیم که خب هستش، تو اینجا هم هستش، باید بشه. ما داریم در رابطه با جمهوری اسلامی صحبت میکنیم که عدل علی رو در اول انقلاب میگفتن، خیلی میگفتن. خب خیلی دل سر شدن، گفتن اصلا بابا اینا دارن یه سریال رو میسازن که بشن دیسیدنس، بگن مخالفای جمهوری اسلامی هن، بیان بیرون و ماها رو گمراه کنن و گویا که ما اینجا که هستیم خیلی برنامه‌های سیاسی مهمی داریم، حالا میخوام ماها رو گمراه کنن. البته این قسمتش رو تو انگلیسی نگفتم، نمیخواستم کسایی که خارجین بفهمن ماها هیچ کاری نمی‌کنیم، نشستیم اینجا فقط داریم صحبت می‌کنیم. خب یه سری اومدن گفتن و این چیزا هست و بعد ولی واقعیت چیه؟ واقعیت چیه؟ حالا من کاری ندارم، یه سری فیلم‌ها رو ندارم، یه سری میگن پول گرفتن، پول خاموشی گرفتن، تموم شد و رفت. واقعیت اینه، اصل مطلب اینه که حقوق بشر ضایع داره میشه در ایران، حقوق بشر داره پایمال میشه در ایران. واقعیت اینه. من کاری ندارم که اینا چیکار کردن. همین که دیدیم که کورکشنال آفیسر، زندانبان اومد یه آدمی رو که همونجا واسطاده بود با سیلی زد، اصلا یکیش نبود، بیشتر اینا رو نشون داد که میزد اینا رو. این حقوق بشر رو ضایع کردن. تو یه دونه ویدیو کلیپش کاملا نشون میبینی که دارن مواد مخدر رو جابجا میکنن تو زندان. قانون شکنی هست. این اون مسئله است. دیگه تموم شد. حالا باهاشون هستن، باهاشون نیستن، بی معنیه. تنها چیزی که معنی داره، مدرکی که ما ایرانی لازم داریم، اینا میشه. حالا یکی میاد میگه که داستانش اینجوری بوده، یکی میاد میگه داستانش اینجوری، من کاری ندارم. من دیگه از این به بعد وقتی میگم در پشت درهای زندان ایران نقض حقوق بشر هست، میتونم اینو نشون بدم که اینا هستش، اینا فیلم‌های واقعیه. همین دیگه، هیچ چیز دیگهش واسه من مطرح نیستش که عدالت علی باهاشون هستن یا نیستن. این تمرکز کنیم رو اون نقطه حساس.